Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Catherine Kruschke, a senior basketball player from Dublin, California, became the Sooner Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Week last week. And Kat, in the game against Our Lady of the Lake, you hit the game-winning free throws in the final seconds. Talk us through the final sequence of that game.
You know, getting inside the paint and grabbing that rebound and being strong with the ball and having two of the girls come attack me. And it leads to one of them fouling me, and the refs called it the last few seconds of the game, and they had bonus, so I had to knock down 2 free throws. As of this year, because we have a small team, that we all got to do extra things, dig deep, work hard. Because last year we had 12, 13 players. Now this year we have 8 and 10, and luckily we had a couple softball girls come in. So we all got to put in extra work, extra effort for every position, for every play this season.
You've also kind of expanded your game a little bit, added a three-point shot this year. Maybe you already had that, but we didn't really see it on display last season. What do you feel like you've worked on over the offseason, and what are your strengths on the court?
Honestly, stepping up to the plate more, taking control, being there for my teammates. When there's stressful situation, show them that we can overcome this.
Talk about last season a little bit. You're part of that national championship team. What was that run like, and what memories will you take away from last year?
It's probably the best moment of my basketball career, having a great chemistry with the team, and the moment that everybody was just all on board. And it was just a magical moment, just cutting down that net with a great coach, great team, great teammates.
You're a nursing major here at OCU.
Yep.
Talk about some of the things that you're studying in the classroom right now.
Well, it's our first semester, so it's the basics. So we get down and dirty. We get all the dirty work, but right now we're going into clinicals, so we experience, firsthand the hospital experience, follow the nurses, get used to it. Basically just learning all the basics of nursing right now.
And I know that schedule is pretty daunting, isn't it?
Yep, it is. It's stressful, but you learn from it. Being organized, to have everything in order on and off the court. Being a leader, also even off the court. Got to step up if something happens in a clinical situation. It's also on the court, so it teaches me on and off the court situations.
All right, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Catherine Kruschke. You can follow the Stars basketball teams on OCUsports.com.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to track cross-country coach Conor Holt. The Stars men's cross-country team just completed their 3rd consecutive national championship. And Coach, take us through that championship-winning race for your men's team. What were the keys to winning that race?
I think it was a little bit of everything. I think you kind of look at this season, and the kids really bought into, as we progressed through the season, the kids really bought into, what this was all about. There was a lot of things on the line. I think, the pride and determination in the program, the ability for a group of boys to come together on the day and just really have a good race. And I definitely think there was a little bit of lady luck too, but it was a number of things, and it just really came down to just drive and determination and hunger in these boys, and the consistency and in wanting them to go out there and just kind of keep this thing going. And it was definitely a fun day across the board on the boys' side, so it was fun.
4 of your runners achieved All-America status. You had 2 top 5 finishers with Arya Bahrini and David Mountford as well. Talk about your individuals.
We had a pretty clear and cut race plan going into Saturday, and the key was just that they were very focused. I thought on the drive over there on Saturday morning in the van, I kind of looked in the rear view mirror a few times, and I could really see the drive and focus in them. I kind of knew that these boys were going to have a special day today, and Arya obviously led the way yet again. He had a great race. He went after it, tried to win the individual title, and came up short because the two guys ahead of him are really good runners. But he held in there, and he ran well. Then Dave had a stormer of a race, I thought, finishing 5th. Great race for Dave. Dave's a guy who we can always count on when it matters, and he definitely came through for us. Mackenzie, that was his 3rd All-American certificate, and as a junior, he's a bright future ahead of us. But and then Mike, obviously, that was his 1st All-American certificate, finishing 29, just sneaked in there. But and then Reno, obviously being a 4th-year senior in the program and finishing 43rd in the race, was a great run for him. So, and then Chris Ebert, obviously a freshman on the team, a great learning experience. And then Dylan, obviously a senior on the team, a great experience for him too. So it was a lot went into it, but I'm really happy for these guys. They dedicated themselves, and they really came through, So we're pretty excited, yeah.
You said that this championship was more satisfying than the first two. Why is that?
I did an interview on Saturday with the NAIA, and they asked me that, and I said the first time we won it in 2013, we weren't expected to win it, and so that was kind of cool. Then last year, they kind of expected us to win it because we were ranked number 1 the whole year, and we delivered. But this year, the teams that we thought that would be in a good dogfight with on Saturday, we knew there was going to be a very close battle, and I had a few sleepless nights because, as a coach, as a head coach, you want the best for your kids, you want the best for the program, and definitely when you're number 1 and you got that that mark on your back going into a race, you can definitely feel a little bit of pressure. But I think just having kids like Arya and Mackenzie and Reno, just having those kind of kids in the program and seeing them develop as freshmen, it was pretty satisfying, to be honest, and I'm still kind of think back on, all the things that we did to get ready for this. I changed up the training a little bit going into this year because what the course was like, and it was just good to have that, that positivity about the training, how things went, and you can't just say one thing about it. It was a lot that went into it, but it was, like I said, it was a little stressful. But on the flip side now, I'm sitting here, we're looking at the trophy, and I'd say that was probably the most satisfying of all the 3 wins. Yeah. So.
What can you say about the depth of the Sooner Athletic Conference? 4 of the top 5 finishers were from the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable actually when you look at our conference and you look at the depth in it. Obviously Bernard Keeter finishing runner-up from Wayland Baptist, and then Arya finishing 3rd. Then the young lad from Macomb College finishing 4th, and Dave finishing 5th from our school. It goes to show you that we're a force to be reckoned with, the Sooner Athletic Conference, and it just goes to show the programs that are in the Sooner Athletic Conference too. They're well-established programs now. Ourselves, obviously, winning our 3rd national title, and then Bacone, the coach over there, seems to be doing a pretty good job. They're a young program, and then the coach down in Wayland Baptist seems to be doing a very good job now that he's taken over the reins at the head track and field position too. So, the future looks bright for the conference, I think. It's we're looking forward now to some track stuff going on, yeah. So.
Also a very good finish for your women's team as well. In fact, the best combined finish for men's and women's across the board.
Yeah.
Sarah Moore was an All-American, so tell us about your women's performance.
I think that the ladies, obviously Sarah making All-American was great. That was her first All-American in cross country. She's had a few All-American certificates on the track now. We thought going in, about a week ago, we had our last hard training session, a week out from the National Championships, and after we got through with that training session, I said to the ladies, I pulled them all together, I said, listen, I think we can get a trophy. They give a trophy to the top 4. And so they were pretty fired up going in. And, I think, it was just a few things that kind of went wrong. The start wasn't great for them, and they were kind of like a little nervous about that, I think. And, they're young and they're very hungry, I think, and they're very determined. And I had a pretty serious talk with them after the race, and I think that hopefully they'll walk away from that now knowing that they can come back next year and I think have a chance to win it. I'd love for the ladies to kind of just go and do what the boys have done, to be honest. You know, I put my heart and soul into this job and I work very hard because I'm a very determined person and I have a lot of drive in me. And so hopefully the ladies see that and they understand that they can just have as much drive in themselves as I have pushing them. And I think that's the key to be successful. You have to have a lot of drive and you can't be afraid. And you can't fear your competition. You can respect your competition, but don't fear them because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about, it's a little bit of lady luck, but at the end of the day, when the gun goes off, it's how much you want it, I think. And so hopefully they'll come away with this and they'll have a good experience. And but as far as the combined finish, you know, we're the #1 program in the NAIA now because you add the 2 points, the points from the boys and the points from the ladies team added together was the #1 team. So that was pretty cool, I thought. You know, after 4 years here now, to say that we're the #1 program in the NAIA is, it's a you know, you can get an extra slice of pecan pie now over Thanksgiving, I think, you know, so yeah. So.
What were the conditions like on the course on Saturday?
You know, that park over there, McLean Park in Charlotte, it's a very fast course. There's a mixture of gravel and not much grass there. So you have to be very, it's a course where you have to be very alert all the time. You can't really let up. And the people that ran well, I thought, were that the teams that ran well had to be very alert and focused. It was a beautiful day, great weather, you know, but the conditions of the course made it to be a very, very, very fast type course. And the start was very important, I thought. You had to go out there and you had to kind of like, you know, be determined at the first 800 meters. Otherwise you would have got swallowed up. But we're there again next year. And I think, you know, especially with the ladies team, they kind of know now what to expect. And we'll go back there and with a good fight in us, I think, yeah. So, yeah.
You told us about some of the underclassmen that ran for your men's team. Obviously, that's a great experience for them moving forward. What does the future hold for your squads?
You know, I think, you know, when you look, we brought in a big recruiting class, so hopefully those kids will now step up in their training. We're going to push them pretty hard over the winter here. We have an indoor and outdoor track season, but the winner for some of these kids will be determine their aerobic capacity and kind of look at training them a little bit harder over the winter. And I think that's the key to being successful. We have a pretty established program here now. And, you know, I think the kids that are coming back have to understand that to continue the winning tradition that we've established here, they'll have to train even harder. Be smart about it, but train really harder and continue that hunger and desire. And I think that's key when you have a winning program. I think well, on the website it said elite status, and I think anytime you're winning continuing a tradition where you're winning championships, you're starting a dynasty. But it also begins with like hunger and desire, and I know that I'm as hungry as I ever was. I enjoyed it for about an hour on Saturday, and then I was on the phone talking to a kid. And I think that's key, is that you have to continue that drive and focus. You can't let up. But you know, that's the key. I think, you know, we're going to sit back, enjoy it a little bit, and just get ready to keep plugging away here. And I think we can do much more, I think, on the track too. I'd love to see some of the kids win individual national titles or win even more All-American certificates, because that just fuels the fire, I think. And then hopefully, you know, just someday we'll get a track and field facility built here. I think that's the key. If I think I could do, well, I know I can do what I've done with cross country on the track. I could add more kids, we could add more events, and add more kids enrollment into the university, and it'll be a win-win-win situation. And obviously then you could win a few national track titles too. So I'm just going to keep plugging away here. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and nothing changes with me. I just my hair gets a little grayer, and I might have a few more sleepless nights, but I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I know the kids will too. So yeah, so we're looking forward to the future. So. All
right, Coach, thanks very much. Talking to track cross country coach Conor Holt. Cross country is in the rearview mirror, but track starts soon. You can keep up with that on OCUsports.com.